gentlemen, welcome to the main event.
Welcome to WHW Monday. Tony Schiavone and Conrad Thompson.
Jim Crockett for Starcade, 605 NWA. TV title, Cajun Omni, the Bunkhouse Stampede. Flair and Horseman, Garvin, Bogey, Magnum, Dusty, Express Tag Teams. Turner, Barton, Mid-South Joint World Championship Wrestling.
Talking about the great years of World Championship Wrestling, the NWA, and Jim Crockett Promotions.
Tony and Friends North, they win. Look, Schiavone's back again. World title split off, center stage, Bischoff. Disney, Hogan, and Nitro. New World Order and The Crow. Thunder, Russo, Arquette Champ, Vinnie Mac, simulcast. Tony's back with Conrad, not your classy podcast. Watch along, try not to laugh. Lowest rules can't pass. This wasn't the initial plan. Tom Zigg's a good-looking man. Klondike Bill, make a chant. Tommy, you come over here.
What happened when?
WHW Monday. And now, let's go to the ring. And here's your co-host. Hey, it's Conrad Thompson.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson, and you're listening to What Happened When? With the voice of your childhood, Tony Schiavone. Tony, what's going on, man? How are you?
Conrad, what's up? Can you believe it that the voice of our childhood has made it another year? Can you believe? You look at the calendar, it's 2020.
Yeah.
That seems awfully futuristic to me.
2020. I didn't see your ass being here involved in wrestling. Yeah, here you are, right in the thick of it. Well, I guess maybe not, because today, of course, is 11/20/20, and well, there's a big show in Jacksonville for AEW, and womp womp womp. You're not there.
No, not there. Last one I'm going to miss until the end of the year.
Starting the year off in typical Schiavone style.
Oh,
really,
come on.
Schiavone. Not even showing up, in fact.
It's not like I'm in a ditch drunk or something and can't get to the show. Or it's not like I'm late at home saying, fuck it. It's not like that. I've got things to do. I've got commitments. I got,
No.
It would be like saying, okay, we got to do a podcast. And you're saying, yeah, but I've got to, I got a meeting with a bunch of knuckleheads to get them to sell. You see?
No, I understand. So you're saying we should abandon our better paying jobs to make sure that our lower paying jobs are taken care of, which is sort of what I do here on the show.
Okay. I'm not going to win this argument. I can see that. So, how you doing? How's things at the Conradison?
And things are great. We had a great, Christmas, and we're excited for a big new year. And 2020, man, it's going to be the best year of mine and your professional lives. Are you ready for that?
I think I am. Can you give us a little insight into what's going on for 2020 with you?
Oh, absolutely not. No, seriously, we had our best year we've ever had. In my real life, the mortgage biz, we did, more volume and more loans last year than ever before. So high fives all around on that. And of course, I've expanded my footprint. This last year, I added not only Jim Ross to the podcasting regime, but I added Art Anderson. So we'll march into 2020 with not one, not two, not three, not four, but 5 podcasts, all of course right here on Westwood One. So very excited about that. And I don't know, man, it feels like it's going to be a big year.
Feels like it's going to be a big year. There are already rumors out there that you're going to expand your podcast. Some people are out there talking that they're going to be a part of things. You never know who to believe in the wrestling business.
Oh, I guess this is worth mentioning too. I got something fun up my sleeves for 2020.
You do?
Yeah.
Good.
So a lot to look forward to. I think it's time we start talking about what we're doing today, because this is going to be fun. Before we go any further, I should mention that we've got you covered on all bases this week. What I mean is, here today, we're going to visit the Monday Night Raw that aired. It was a tape show, but it aired on Monday, January 4th, 1999. Now, this is heads up with the Finger Poke of Doom episode of Monday Nitro, where famously we were promised the rematch from Starrcade 1998, where the streak came to an end. So it's supposed to be Kevin Nash versus Goldberg. Of course, we know Goldberg would be arrested for stalking Miss Elizabeth, and he didn't make it back in time. So they had Hulk Hogan fill in for Goldberg. Of course, Hulk Hogan would win the world title with a single finger poke. We've covered that here on the show if you'd like to check it out in the archives. We've also gotten Eric Bischoff's perspective on 83 weeks. But today, you're going to examine the Monday Night Raw, where you famously gave away the spoiler on Monday Nitro with a line that has annoyed you to no end for 20 years. That'll put some butts in the seats. And tomorrow on Grilling JR, Jim is going to watch and discuss that Nitro for the very first time because he's never seen the finger poke of doom. I think this is, one of our better ideas to get the year started. The voice of Nitro watches Raw. The voice of Raw watches Nitro. Are you looking forward to this? Are you dreading this? What's your feelings right now?
No, I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Because I've seen the finger poke of doom. I've seen my response. I've never seen this match. I've never watched it. Here's how clueless I was to what was going on back then. I didn't realize that Raw had been taped. And when I was told to say what I said, I got to thinking, is there someone in the backstage area of Raw calling here and stooging off what's going on? I didn't know it was taped. So I didn't know what was going on. And that line has not really annoyed me. What has kind of annoyed me is that it's kind of like dipshits online will put it down as if to say, oh, that'll get him. And I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, it happened, what, now 21 years ago. Get the fuck over it.
Well, you've blocked a lot of people.
Yeah, I still do.
What's up with that? Why are you still blocking everybody?
Because if you're a negative person, I do not need you in my life. Give you an example. If I'm in a room of people and there's a negative person there, just keeps being negative and keeps grinding and keeps being negative, what do? I either go to another room or I sick bug on them to bite them in the toe, or I get one of my friends like Matt Coon to beat their, well, not back Matt Coon.
He ain't doing nothing, as you know.
Yeah. I get Jay-Z to, Jay-Z ain't gonna do shit either. I get Super Dave to cut off their thumb is what I would do.
Well, I mean, that makes sense because as you know, Super Dave has burnt both of his thumbs off.
Right. Or I'd get Weird Louie to start talking to him and the guy would commit suicide within 3 minutes. So that's how I would handle a negative person that was in my general area. So if you're a negative person online, now if I block you or if I mute you, especially if I block you, then you're no longer in my life. And I think that's a cool thing.
Okay. Well, we hope that you think it's cool that we're watching this Monday Raw, Monday Night Raw from January 4th.
Raw is war.
Yeah. From January 4th, 1999. A lot of meat on the bone. It's 1 hour, 34 minutes, 57 seconds. So, what you'll want to do is pull up your WWE Network, click the Raw button on the toolbar, scroll down to 1999, and it's the very first episode. This was actually filmed in 1998, but it aired on January 4th, 1999. Tony, do you think Lois is up and starting around, or did you guys tie one on last night for New Year's Eve?
No, of course we didn't. I think she's up and around, and here's an amazing little story as she makes her way to the microphone. Is that we met in 1981. We were married in 1981, and now the calendar turns to 2020. And we are heading towards 40 years of marriage. Got another year to go, of course, but I never thought I would still be with this woman when the calendar said 2020. Shit, I never thought I'd be alive in 2020, but here I am, thanks to you. And here with our countdown is Lois Schiavone.
3, 2, 1, play!
Here we are, the old signature open, which I absolutely loved. And, I don't know. I felt like the WWE did a better job of these little openings than WCW did. The presentation was cool.
Yeah, they had better, and I don't want. We had great production people. We had Neil Pruitt, we had Kemper Rogers, we had Keith Mitchell, but the post production people with the WWE were always better. And now they're they're really selling here Shawn Michaels, and why not?
Yeah, they're pushing the idea that he's been fired.
Okay.
By the way, we should mention that the show was taped on December 29th in Worcester, Massachusetts. And it's kind of interesting because even though you get lots of shit for spoiling the show on Nitro, I hate to be this guy, but the WWF itself on its website heavily publicized the fact that the title change was taped and would air. So they felt that fans being told in advance of a title change that was taped and was going to appear would boost their ratings on a very competitive night. That comes directly from the Observer. So they had already promoted it, even though years later, everybody would say, "Oh, it was all Tony Schiavone's fault."
Yeah.
Technically, they're not wrong.
No, there's a part of me that thinks this, and I think I'm right about this. If you feel that I was the one that did it, that I was the one that changed the direction of Monday Night Wars, then thank you. If you think I had that much influence, thank you very much. Maybe I was more important than I thought I was.
No, I don't think anybody thought you had that much.
Okay. 1999, it was a very bad year to be in WCW. I just want to say, I'm going to fire Eric Bischoff. That's right. I'm going to come up with this cockamamie story that I'm going to have him be in charge of SmackDown. And then I'm going to have Bruce Pritchard, bring him here. Bruce will think that we're doing it for legit reasons, but I'm going to fire his ass because of the Monday Night Wars. And then I'm going to open up another football league, which, as we know, against the NFL cannot exist. But at least it will give some players a chance to maybe get seen by the NFL in the 1 or 2 years that the league will be in existence. What the hell is that on the back?
Realistically, you think that the XFL lasts just 1 or 2 seasons?
I don't know. There's no way I can put a gauge on that. I just don't think that fans want to see football after the Super Bowl. Maybe I'm wrong. There's so much TV out there, Conrad. There's the NFL channel.
Right.
So if you want to see football after the NFL Super Bowl, go to the NFL Network and you can see it again. I just, I don't know. I hope for the sake of the athletes involved, it prospers. That's why I like seeing a lot of wrestling promotions succeed. So guys who have put their time and effort, and I'm talking about the boys and the girls, if I can use that term, put their efforts in taking bumps and entertaining people, can make a good living.
Have you thought about the fact that Tony Khan is a big part of the biggest wrestling company or the biggest football company in the world? He's a power broker there, and Vince McMahon sort of sees that and wants in on that business. Meanwhile, Vince McMahon owns the most powerful wrestling company in the world, and Tony Khan sees that and maybe wants in on. Isn't that weird?
That is weird. That's very odd. And Tony Khan's involvement in the Jacksonville Jaguars is front line.
Yeah.
Tony and I talk about the Jags all the time.
And even more so now, if you're an NFL fan, you've probably seen that they've been keeping up with some stuff over there.
Yeah. Exactly. Here's the deal. His father is the owner in chief, but Tony Khan runs the team. Tony Khan, in effect, is the owner of the Jaguars and of the football team in London. Well, Vince had some great facial reactions, didn't he?
I think he's one of the all-time greatest wrestling performers. I know that sounds silly, but I think it's one of those deals where, you know, he has been a part of so much and orchestrated so much and seen so much that he's probably a great teacher from a television perspective of how to be a great television performer. It's weird that one of the absolute best, I mean, I guess my point is from a character standpoint, who better to be an agent for that than Vince McMahon? And I think these days, from what we hear, he spends a lot less time sort of hands-on working with the talent. But in this era, we would go back and we would see, you know, behind the scenes footage of him showing Mankind when he's debuting as Dude Love. No, you need to walk like this. I mean, he was hands-on with the talent as they're doing pre-tapes and things like that. And supposedly that's not something that happens now. Now it's just producers and agents who handle all of that. And you got to wonder, you know, how much better the product today could be if Vince was maybe a little more hands-on with that stuff.
Really? You think so?
I do, just because he's such a great, I'm not saying that he is a great creative mind. Don't get me wrong. I think he's created most of the stuff that I grew up with so fondly, from the golden era. He was a big part of him, Bruce and Pat, as they say, but, his facials and things like that, and his just on-screen performance in this era, I think a lot could be learned from this. And it's not like, you know, he just walked out there and just naturally had it. He had to work at it. You don't think he could teach how to be
No, I agree with all that you're saying. I just think that, and I'm looking at it from a perspective of JR and the announcers.
right?
I know he still produces the announcers.
Well, he shouldn't.
No, he should not.
I'm not arguing that, but I think that's totally different. I could be wrong, but nobody goes back and says, God damn, what a great announcer Vince McMahon was. And nobody goes back and says, what a great wrestler he was. So I'm not saying copy his wrestling, and I'm not saying copy his announcing. I'm saying the in-ring, on-screen, you know, vignettes and things like that, his facials and delivery, man, he was clicking on all cylinders a lot of the time.
He sure was. And he is right here. Look at Billy Gunn over on the right there, man. You know, we had Billy Gunn come out in our battle royal that we had, and what a reaction he got.
He's over. And believe it or not, they've been promoting that, this show, one of these shows you're going to lay up for, he's actually going to be teaming with his son for AEW.
Wow. That is so cool. I have a lot of time for Billy Gunn in that he's one of the biggest motherfuckers ever.
No,
like,
I think people really sleep on that. Like,
yeah,
he's Hulk Hogan size.
oh my God, he's incredible.
Yeah.
He's absolutely incredible. And when he and I, a lot of times take the same flight out of Atlanta on Tuesday to get wherever we're going. And you'll see him in the airport and he'll stand there and everybody just like looking at him like, who the fuck is this mountain of a man? He's incredible. He really is. So,
Boy, when you said mountain of a man, it was a little weird.
why is that?
Well, I just felt like you had a hand on your crank when you said it. Who is this mountain of a man?
I can't put over anybody in my company without you thinking I'm sucking their dick.
Whoa.
What was that? What were you doing? Were you drinking something?
Yeah, I've got a Coke Zero here like I always do. Listen. This show is not sponsored by Coke Zero, but it should be because they're pretty well fueling our stuff here. I got to tell you, if I'm going to be critical of something, this 10-minute in-ring promo to start the show,
It just ain't it, is it?
well, and that's the thing. I think that was always what really set Raw apart from Nitro, it always felt like Raw started with a 10-minute in-ring promo, and eventually it grew to 20-minute in-ring promos. Whereas Nitro, it's starting with luchadors flying around all over the place. And I know you would rather see this. You've admitted on the show before that you hate Hispanic people and you hate the lucha libre style.
Yeah, you're first of all, I want to stop you right there. I'm gonna be very honest about this.
You
okay,
really hate them. Sorry.
Okay, no, you're a lying piece of shit motherfucker.
What? Why are you? What are you saying?
I do not hate Hispanic people. As a matter of fact, I traveled with Hispanic people many times on airplanes and buses in the minor leagues. One of my favorite people of all time is Dasha Gonzalez, who is my co-host on Dark.
Hang on, no. You told me off air that while you did have to travel sometimes with other races, you made sure they always sat in the back of the bus. Now, I don't know what that means.
It means you're a lying motherfucker is what that is.
Oh,
I'm sorry. You're a lying cocksucker. Did I offend you there? I hope I did. You lying piece of shit. Oh, you see how they're going to their crotch there? Yeah. That's what I'm doing to you right now.
Well, that's hurtful.
Hey, this is for you, comrade. Hey.
That's very hurtful.
Okay, this is a time where I guess they had taken JR off of Raw.
Well, here's the thing. I know JR's your buddy, but
he is.
He's my buddy too. But I believe this is not. They've taken him off. I think his mom has just died here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry.
I mean, I might have my timeline wrong on this.
Okay.
But I think this is around the time when his mother passed away.
JR's battled through some pretty sad parts of his life, hasn't he? I think the fact that he's still out there doing it says a lot about his perseverance, and it really does. Boy, look at this. Look at this badass, would you?
Dude, Ken Shamrock was another level.
Yeah, man. He walks out. It's like, ooh, I don't want to. I know we're supposed to work a match, but I'm not so sure he's going to be working when he climbs in the ring against me. You had him on a StarCast, didn't you?
I have, yeah.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool guy.
By the way, I feel like I should mention here that Best Television Announcer in the Wrestling Observer Reader Awards for the year 1998, you came in 7th.
Whoa.
You beat Mike Goldberg. You beat Jim Cornette. You beat Jeff Blatnick. But Scott Hudson beat you. Yoshinori Tsuji beat you.
Okay.
Jerry Lawler beat you. Joey Styles beat you. Mike Tenay beat you. You want to guess who was number one?
Jim Ross was.
Jim Ross got 2,933 votes. Do you want to guess how many votes Tony Schiavone got?
3.
160. Not the first time that Jim Ross had won. He also won in 1988, 1989, 1990, 1991, 1992, and 1993. Guess how many times you had won by that point?
0.0.
Now, you did almost win an award. I know it sounds like we're burying you, but that's not fair.
No, that's one of the charms of you in this show.
I'm just reading
is to bury my ass
from the Observer. But here's the deal. You did beat out Shane McMahon, Larry Zbyszko, Bobby Heenan, Michael Cole, Joey Styles, Vince Russo, Michael St. John, and Jerry Lawler
as worst announcer of the year.
But Lee Marshall beat you there.
Oh God.
He got 1,792 votes. Apparently the readers did not think he was great. But you're the worst wrestling announcer that's alive now, coming in at number 2 with 1,142 votes.
Mm-hmm. Well deserved back then. Well deserved.
Let me tell you how stupid this is, though. The worst television announcer award in 86, 87, and 88 went to David Crockett. And unbelievably, it went to Gorilla Monsoon for 91, 92, 93, 94, 95. Like, Gorilla Monsoon? How can anybody say anything bad about Gorilla Monsoon? You get your ass kicked around here for saying some shit like that.
That just shows you how stupid it is. And here's another thing that I don't want to spend too much time on this.
Why?
Well, because you do.
Oh, okay.
I just think that, do you really think those polls are legit?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. You really think that a guy who writes about a phony business is going to be truthful in his writing?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I believe most of what Meltzer says. I realize that sometimes the boys are working him. He realizes that too, but I think by and large, yeah, it's mostly accurate.
Who's this on the outside? Keith Hernandez?
Stan Severn.
Okay. It looks like Keith Hernandez.
Don't know. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not a baseball fan or a Seinfeld fan, you may not get the reference, but throw it in your Google machine. Keith Hernandez from the Mets.
Yeah, that's one of the great hitters of the era.
And, tell me that doesn't, because here's the deal. I want to make fun of Tony here, but I mean, he's kind of close.
Yeah.
I kind of see it. You got to squint, but you can get there.
That's right. Oh.
Speaking of squinting, but getting there, did you have Lois play with the old Yule log over the holidays?
No.
What?
No, I did not.
Why not?
Well, if I'm going to be brutally honest with you, first of all, this is pretty good opening match.
Absolutely.
These guys are fucking kicking it in here, man. But if I'm brutally honest, and I don't want to bring this down, I'm going to mention it one time. I'm going to keep moving on. Okay.
Okay.
During the holidays, we had a sick dog. We had to put down, and holy shit. How about that? That we had to put down, and it kind of took down some of the joy of our holidays. So we're by that now. We're moving on. I'm enjoying Steve Blackman getting the win. I'm enjoying you there. Hey, Keith Hernandez, swing. Did he spin on him? And I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying you shitting on me for another hour and a half or so, whatever. And enjoying the first match here of Raw is War, which, by the way, I get now. I didn't get it, but I get now.
What do you mean?
They came up with Raw is War as directly saying, okay, Raw is War against Nitro, right?
I don't know that. I mean, maybe. So the deal is there's two shows. There's a show for the first hour and a show for the second hour. And they wanted to do that because they wanted to say how many times they were in the top 10 on cable or whatever the shit.
Got it. Hell of a move here by Billy Gunn. My God.
That's the famouser.
The famouser.
The fame-asser, say.
Fame-ass. I got to write that down so when he uses it, I know what I'm talking about.
Really? You're going to try to call a move?
Fame-asser. I call a lot of motherfucking moves. Tope Suicida! See? Getting better.
How many, if you think there was a Scantron situation where you had multiple choices on a test and you had to name with graphics, of course, there'd be images there. And then you had to guess the names of the moves based on diagrams of drawings of moves, like the progression of the move.
Yeah.
What do you think you would get? Let's say that Excalibur.
I think I'd get a 60.
Okay. What do you think Excalibur would get?
Oh, he'd probably get 100.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Let's go put butts in seats.
Look at you.
There, I said it. Come on.
So here you see he's feuding with Mr. Man. He's grabbing Pat Patterson's no-no, which
oh my God,
maybe how he got his gig. Pat takes a powder.
Wow, man. Here we are watching. Come on. We all know this. We are watching one of the greatest performers of all time.
Without question.
As far as taking bumps, as far as talking, as far as working a match, as far as getting into his character. Mick Foley was as great as anyone.
You want to tell everybody the famous story of you bumping into Mick in Orlando at a town hotel?
Right. I was walking out of the quote unquote team hotel in Orlando during WrestleMania. I guess it's now 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And he was walking in, and I stopped, and I said, Mick. And, of course, he being very cordial to everyone, looked over. He said, hey. I said, man, long time. How you been? He said, great, man. And I put my arm around him. He said, I don't want to be rude, but tell me who you are again. And it right to my mind, I almost said, well, that'll put butts in seats. But I didn't. I said, Tony Schiavone, come on. And he hugged me, and we talked for a little while, and he was getting ready to check in. And obviously, he can't get around like he used to. And so that was my moment with Mick.
Did you?
And I heard at StarCast, he had a pretty funny moment with my son, Matt, as well.
Tell us about that.
I don't know but he told Matt, he said, you're Schiavone's son or something, and thank your dad for all he did for me. Ha ha ha. Or something like that. You may know the actual verbiage what went down. I'm not so sure. Matt kind of told me. And as always, Matt was talking to me, and I was thinking about something else. I always thought that I could have used some Ritalin at times.
Do you think you'll ever pay attention to your children?
Huh?
I don't say anything. We should mention here that this same night, you guys are setting a record. $930,735 at the gate. But Bischoff is pissed because they've ran 3 events at the Dome, none of which drew $1 million. He wanted to break that $1 million mark. The fans live on the other channel are going to be furious because they were promised Goldberg Nash as the main event. And of course it never took place. And instead they get a main event where 2 guys don't touch. Meltzer would say, overall, the Georgia Dome was an absolute disaster of a show, and it would probably take 18 pages to list all the reasons why. During the show on 2 occasions, the chimpanzees running WCW told Schiavone to say that Raw was taped and that Foley would be winning the title on the opposition show, so don't switch channels. Nitro was beyond awful, and he was telling people there's a world title change going to happen on the other channel. Who runs this circus? He also knocked Foley, laughing about a company that would make him champ, which isn't going to help Schiavone's rep with wrestling fans since Foley is so universally respected. The WWF shot back when they heard what was being said, since even though the show is taped, the commentary is done live, and said they weren't going to present a main event that starts 2 minutes before the show goes off the air and consists of nothing but walking and talking.
Everything they say was correct. I'm not here to defend what we did, as you know, at all.
I feel like there's a butt hanging.
Okay, but you can kiss my ass.
Oh, that was hurtful.
Okay, there you go.
I don't even know what I did here. Very complimentary to you.
Well, just for the road in there, I'm going to fire Bischoff once he moves to Connecticut.
By the way, we should mention Mick Foley had officially won the Time Magazine Internet Man of the Year poll with 192,365 votes. Second place was Kevin P. Neal with 128,028. Bret Hart, who's now over there with you guys, got 11,276.
Wow, that's a great poll.
What, man of the year?
Yeah. Can I be very honest with you?
No.
Yeah, I'm going to. I don't give a flying fuck about a poll.
Okay.
Look, Lois hits me with polls and politics and fuck. I want to fucking jump out of the fucking window. I don't give a fuck about those, Lois.
Okay. I'm not Lois, but all right.
No, you're I'm sorry. You were sounding like Lois there for a bit.
No, I didn't. First of all, I was sober. Second of all, I wasn't fussing at you or asking for money.
This is how she sounds to me sometimes. And this is how you're beginning to sound on this show. Worst announcer. Butts and seats. Foley's over. WCW sucks. Finger poke of doom.
Well, let me tell you about a real announcer in this era.
Okay.
Meltzer would write, nothing new to report on Jim Ross. Ross himself is said to be hoping to be back on the air in time for the Rumble. But while he's improving, there's no timetable whatsoever on his condition that can be labeled as anything more than an educated guess. So this wasn't one of those, we hate Jim Ross. I mean, I'm not saying that didn't exist.
I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get it. And again, if you think about losing his mom and then losing his wife and his bouts with Bell's palsy, he's an amazing story. And I didn't realize how much an amazing story he was because I didn't follow what was going on until I read his new book that's coming out in March.
By the way, he is out here just punishing Cooter right now. Punishing.
God bless him.
I feel bad.
You know,
I feel
God
bad
bless
for the single middle-aged ladies in Norman, Oklahoma.
Mm-hmm.
Because now that he's found Blue Chew, he called me the other day and said, hey, how do I renew my subscription? And I was like, you mean your prescription? He's like, whatever. I need to get that Blue Chew down here. I was like, come on, man, do what we did on the show. He's like, oh shit, Connie, just tell me what I need to do. So talk him through it. And then he was like, goddamn, I'm down to my last one, trying to go 3 for 3 this week. And I might just have to put my tongue on, just lick it like it was acid or something. Just see what happens if I just lick it.
The $1 million cookie.
Which is just tremendous.
Yeah, he's doing quite well for himself. And he's certainly, he and I talk about that, you know, when we're alone. And I think he kind of likes to rub it in because he knows that I don't.
My favorite line that he's said recently on a podcast is, I'm a dangerous man. With Blue Chew in my hand, I'm a dangerous man.
Can I say something here? We just saw her. Here comes another badass, buddy. They had some badasses who work for him, didn't they?
Yeah, they did.
They really did, man. I really was turned on by Chyna.
Okay. You know what? That makes sense because you love the tussle.
Mm-hmm. And then when I finally met her and got to talk to her and got to know her, you know, after it was all said and done, I thought, God, this is one of the sweetest ladies I've ever met. And she was so sweet and so nice. And she was such different than the persona that she had on TV, which I thought was remarkable. And I guess most people do who have been on TV back in that era. They're not with the exception of Ric Flair, they're not who they show on TV. They're somebody different.
Right.
But she was so sweet and so nice. And not only that, God, I loved her. And I was, she and I would DM each other now and then, text each other now and then, right up until close till she passed away.
You were sliding up in them DMs.
No, I was.
What?
Sliding up in them DMs.
What's wrong with that?
What'd you think about Goldust? Are you still with me?
Yeah, with you.
Okay.
I loved Goldust.
I did too. I didn't really when I first saw it, I thought, oh God, what the fuck are they doing to him? They're trying to shit on another member of the Rhodes family. But then Dustin took Goldust to a new level. And it was good shit. It was good shit. And it was good shit. Why? Because Dustin could and still can work. Shit.
By the way, as we see sexual chocolate throwing down Goldust here, it makes me think that maybe now might be a good time for a little Tony Reed's rap action.
Let's do some. I tell you what. Let's do some Barry White.
No, let's not.
Baby.
Here's
I
what
can't get enough of your love, baby.
It's gonna be
the
good.
First, my last, my everything.
That was terrible. It sounded like Elvis having a stroke. What we're going to do today is we're going to put a little South in your mouth. The Atlanta group, the iconic Atlanta duo, Outkast. And this is going to be one of the classics. Miss Jackson.
This is one I've heard.
Oh, how about this? It's a catchy song.
Yes, it is. And I'm going to really butcher it.
Well, I can't wait. I wouldn't expect anything different. Now, if you check your email, you should have some lyrics.
I got the lyrics. Could I hear the beat here for a second so I can just like get with it?
Wait a minute. Are you actually going to try on one? I'm so used to you just Schiavone and everything. Like, I can't believe I'm doing this, but you going to butcher that song too? Go ahead. Do it again.
Baby, baby, I can't get enough of your love. Mm.
Do you know that you're doing like the worst Elvis ever, or can you not help yourself?
I can't help. So it's all I got.
All right. Well,
That's
is
all I
what
got.
The real Mrs. Jackson sounds like.
Okay. Baby mamas, mamas, baby mamas. Yeah, go like this.
Baby mamas.
Here comes the singing. Here we go.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. I am for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize a trillion times. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
Jackson, ooh, I'm for real.
Okay, think you got it now? Think you got some motivation?
Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize a trillion times. My baby's driving mama. Don't like me. We'll throw in motherfucker. She's been doing things like having them boys come from her neighborhood to the studio trying to fight me. She needs to get a piece of the American pie and take her bite out. That's my house. I'll disconnect the cable and turn the lights out. Woo! And let her know her grandchild is a baby and not a paycheck. Private school, daycare, shit, medical bills, I pay that. I love your mom and everything, but I see I ain't the one who laid down. She want to rib you up to start a custody war. My lawyer stay down. Shit, you'll never get a chance to hear my side of the story. We was divided. She had fish fries and cookouts for my child's birthday. I ain't invited. Despite it, I show her utmost respect when I fall through. All you do is defend that lady when I call you yet. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Oh, I'm for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. Apologize a trillion times. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Oh, I am for real. I never meant to make your daughter cry. Apologize a trillion times. Me and your daughter got this thing going on. We got a special kind of thing going on. You say it's puppy love. I'm sorry. Chyna just came out. Where was it? Oh, you say it's puppy love. I say it's full grown like Chyna. Hope that we can feel this way forever. You can plan a pretty picnic, but you can't predict the weather. Miss Jackson, 10 times out of 9 now, if I'm lying, fine. The quickest muzzle throw, it's on my mouth and I'll decline. King meets queen, then the puppy love thing. Together dream about that crib with a good year swing. On the oak tree, I hope we find like this forever. Forever, ever, ever, forever, ever. Forever never seems that long until you're grown and notice the day that a day ruler can't be too wrong. Miss Jackson, my intentions were good. I wish I could become a magician to abracadabra all the sadder thoughts of me. Thoughts of she, thoughts of me, asking what happened to the feeling that her and me. I had to pray so much about it. It needs some knee pads. It happened for a reason. One can't be mad. So you know this? Know that everything's cool. And yes, I will be present on the first day of school. Graduation. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Oh, I'm for real. Never made to make your daughter cry. I apologize a trillion times. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Oh, I'm for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize a trillion times. Yeah. Look at the way she treats me. Jet, look at the way you treat me. You see your little nosy ass homegirls done got your ass sent up the creek, G, without a paddle. You left to straddle and ride this thing on out. Now you and your girl ain't speaking no more. Calls my dick all in her mouth. There it is. There's the line we've been waiting for. Calls my dick all in her mouth. Know what I'm talking about? Jealousy, infidelity, envy, cheating to beating, envy into the G. They can be the same thing. So who you placing the blame on? You keep singing the same song. Let bygones be bygones. You can go on and get the hell and your mom. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Oh, I am for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize a trillion times. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Oh, I'm for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize. A trillion times, bitch. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. I'm for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize a trillion times. I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Oh, I'm for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. I apologize a trillion times. Now, Miss Jackson, give me a blowjob.
By the way, speaking of blowjobs, if you look at Raw, you just missed, I can't believe this is real, but.
What?
Yeah. Chyna came out.
Yeah.
I had to explain to Mark Henry, you're more man than just one woman can handle.
Uh-huh.
Meet my friend Sammy.
Mm-hmm.
And later, we're going to see Sammy and Mark Henry spend some quality time together.
We're going to see it here on this show?
And Mark Henry is going to realize that Sammy is in fact a transsexual.
Oh, God.
And although it's not PC and not something you would say in 2019, should be positioned as Sammy the tranny.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, they a lot of the shit that went down in this show,
including what we're watching right now, where there is
Exactly.
a pimp with a hoe train,
that's right.
which I'm sure you're all about.
What, a hoe train?
Yeah. I mean, you told me the other day that you'd be pimping hoes nationwide. You told me that was your favorite part about AEW being live on the road every week is, you know, different cooter in different towns.
Well, you a fucking lie,
No.
but that's okay. That's part of your charm. You being a fucking lie. Look at this, man. Bam. They had some shit going on there, didn't they? Fans were into this stuff.
Yeah. They're hot for everything. And these over the top characters. I mean, we just saw a transsexual and we saw Goldust and we saw sexual chocolate and we saw Chyna.
We started out with a couple of badasses on the show.
I'm just saying, then we saw a clip of a porn star. Now we've got a pimp and we've got his hose. And by the way, why do you think, Andrew Martin's wrestling name here was Test?
Because he was testy.
Okay.
Got pissed off easily.
Alrighty.
Or I don't know. He's no longer with us, is he?
No, he has passed away. He, I don't know that you know this or not, but he mentioned you. What?
Go ahead. I guess I'm the reason he's dead.
Well, he just said he didn't want to live long enough to see himself become Schiavone, you know. There it is.
There it is.
I guess happens. Oh, by the way, we should shout out over at lowestrules.com. We do have a lot of fun new shirts, but one of which we sort of freestyled on the show where I nicknamed your son the Brewmaster. And I called him Schiavone IPA. And to my surprise, it became a shirt, and it's a pretty cool looking shirt.
Absolutely it is. And he's thrilled about it. And during Christmas time, somebody was talking about that shirt.
Yeah.
And here's exactly how the conversation went. He said, so Dad, can I? I went, no.
Of course you can. Go to lowestrules.com.
No, that's not what he was asking. I knew exactly what he was asking.
What?
Dad, can I get some money for the shirt? Fuck no, you can't. You didn't come up with the idea. And I'm the one that brought you into this world. I'll make money off of you, little fucker.
Oh, well, fuck that. We'll just take it down. I mean,
No.
it's not like we were going to plug Best End Brewery right there in Atlanta anyway. And nobody wants to go to 1036 White Street Southwest in Atlanta, Georgia.
Which is the hip part of town.
Just because they open at 4 p.m. and just because they have an average rating of 4.8, just because the photos look cool and the reviews are very detailed and tremendous, doesn't mean anybody wants to go there. Who wants to eat locally and drink globally? Certainly not anyone who would enjoy Best in Brewing.
Well, he wanted a shirt. And he's got his shirt. Bless his heart.
I would never, ever, ever recommend a place at 1036 White Street Southwest, Atlanta, GA 30310. And I wouldn't call 470-391-0999 and ask for Schiavone IPA. And I wouldn't believe the reviews that said things like, overall, the food was good and the brews definitely touched homes. And I would never believe someone who would write some shit like this. Most importantly, the owner and staff are down to earth. Sounds like bullshit to me. And then look at this garbage. They have a wide selection of beers ranging from IPAs to Pilsners. You know why I ain't going to this piece of shit called Best In Brewing Company at 1036? Why? Cause they got a goddamn Miller Lite.
Your taste of beer is the best.
I mean, listen,
goddamn Miller Lite.
You got Miller Lite, I'm in. You ain't got Miller Lite? Fuck yourself.
Oh God.
What?
We'll take you there.
I don't want to go. I don't want to have Event Tide or Wild Leap or Gate City or Second Self or, Steady Hand. I don't want any of that shit. I don't want Orpheus Brewing. I want none of that. Certainly don't want to go to Best In Brewery.
Oh God. I certainly want to watch Chyna.
By the way, so we're talking about Chyna. You've got a new shirt out too over lowestrules.com, inspired by AEW Dynamite. The Boop and Tussle.
Oh.
The old Boop and Tussle. How much Boop and Tussle would you have done with Chyna, do you think?
A lot. I would have attempted to. She probably would have stretched my ass and, which would have been good. She could have beat me up. I don't care.
The old Boop and Tussle.
The old Boop and Tussle. Yes, sir. I'm joining me a lot of Chris Statlander.
Serious business. You should go to support Schiavone's children. Go to Best In Brewery. Tell them Tony Schiavone sent you.
It's for real. As you were reading there, is getting rave reviews.
No, everybody loves it. I mean, I've got friends who don't know, about our silly stuff here on the podcast, or that you have any sort of tie or connection. And I was supposed to meet someone in Atlanta and they pitched it, and I just laughed thinking they were just saying it because they listened to the show, and they didn't. They had no idea. And it was just their choice. So people are digging it, man. They've done a great job with it. Apparently I haven't been yet, but, I will be there. I'm planning a trip in the next week or so, just a day trip to Atlanta, and going to do some fun personal stuff. I may swing through there and just run around yelling at the top of my lungs, fuck Schiavone. See what happens.
Bring your ATM card.
Why?
No, I was just looking for a handout.
Oh, well, how's that any different? I assume if I'm there and you need anything to eat or drink, I'll be expected to purchase it for you.
Well, I don't know if it's expected. It's kind of common knowledge now, isn't it?
I don't know that I have many friends in my life who take me for granted more than you. And I really appreciate that.
Well, it's what I'm all about. It's part of my charm.
Yeah.
Okay. So tell me the story about Mankind here. He apparently had to wrestle some sort of gauntlet to be able to wrestle for the title.
Yeah. So the corporation and Mr. McMahon are here to try to hold down Mankind with the idea that he's looking for revenge because his great close personal friend has turned his back on him. Let's set the stage for you. The screw job happened at Survivor Series 1997 Fast forward, Survivor Series 1998 Deadly Game is commonly thought to be Vince Russo's best single night of booking, where he told a tremendous story where Shane McMahon, who was supposed to be opposing his dad, was in fact under his dad's wing. And Mick Foley was the victim here, where The Rock, who had been feuding with Vince McMahon, would join the corporation at the end of the night, turn on his friend Mick Foley, and they would say that he quit, even though he didn't quit. So now The Rock is a monster heel, and just like sort of piggybacking the Montreal thing, the whole sharpshooter was involved. Mr. McMahon's the evil heel, but now the guy they're railing against and taking advantage of is Mick Foley. So Foley is hell set on revenge. But in order to get his title shot, in order to get his revenge and take from Rock what matters to him most, the world title, and take control of that championship away from Mr. McMahon and blah, 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 he's got to work his way through here. We're not going to make it easy on you, Mick.
Pretty good story.
Yep. It's better than, hey, Goldberg's not here for our main event because he raped Miss Elizabeth.
Boy, it's depressing.
What's your favorite rape storyline in wrestling?
I don't have any of them.
Of course, you guys backed down the rape to where it was just stalking. And
Right.
Miss Elizabeth's complaint was, he's always at the building whenever I get there. He's stalking me. He's at every building I go to, and he's, or every arena, and he's on every plane I'm on. I always see him at the airport. He's following me at the airport. And believe it or not, he's even always at the gym. Every time I go to the gym, he's there.
God, that's terrible. Why are you, it's just terrible. We get it.
Of course,
We get it. It's terrible.
Of course, from interrogating Bill, we realize he's always at the gym because he owns it. And you remember there. He's always at the arena because he works for WCW. He's always at the airport because he works for WCW. DC? Do you get it?
Pedigree. Boom.
Hey, can we talk about Christmas for a minute?
Christmas is over.
I know. I just wanted to hear what your favorite present you got was.
I got, you ready for this?
Yep.
And you're a shoe guy.
Yep.
You'll like it and you'll hate it all in one.
Can't wait. You got some Crocs.
No, I did not.
Okay.
I got Chuck Taylor,
Wow.
Converse All-Stars, Batman version.
Okay. I gotta throw that in my Google machine, but I gotta tell you, it sounds kind of cool.
Yeah, it's got Batman comic strips on them. Batman and Robin comic strips.
Oh yeah. I see these. I hate them.
Yeah, I knew you would.
Yeah. These are terrible.
Love them. We got some things for the Bat Cave here. Some things and I'm running out of shelf space. My God. All my friends have been sending me stuff, and Super Dave has been sending me stuff, and Chris McDonald. And of course, I got stuff, during the birthday party. I just don't have shelf room for them. So I got to build more shelves here.
Well, just,
stuff.
start throwing the shit away.
No, man,
Some of it's not very good. It's like dumbass Batman stuff. You don't need, how much Batman shit does one guy need?
It's part of my fucking charm.
Oh.
This is the Bat Cave. Get it? Cave. Bat Cave.
I don't know about that.
Wow, this is pretty intense. Vince again with some great facial expressions.
Yeah. So he's tying up the boy, and there you go. Main event, The Rock, Mankind, no DQ. He got his match.
Very cool.
And now about this time is when you're shitting all over it on Nitro.
Bringing it back to that, aren't you?
Well, I mean, that's the reason we're watching this.
Yeah, I know. No, I wanted to see, I just wanted to see it.
You tried to end his career, Tony.
Yeah, no, lie. You a lie.
The Southern way. I like that.
So let's see. So, and now The Rock's kind of pissed off. He's made the match.
Of course. Wouldn't you be?
Yeah. Good shit.
I mean, if you were going to wrestle Mankind in any sort of gimmick match, literally the last one you would want to be considered, no DQ.
Right.
Fuck that.
Good. This is a good story, man. Great. It comes down to great stories, doesn't it?
I think so.
Yeah. And okay, now one could say that, okay, hear me out here, that Goldberg stalking Miss Elizabeth would be a pretty interesting story. But when you don't give him anything as a result of that, then it's a shit story.
I got to tell you, I totally agree. I don't think it's a terrible story. I think it was just terrible in execution.
Exactly. They had a great story here. They executed it right. Mick Foley wins the championship. We had a story here that had some interest, maybe some intrigue. Okay. And then we ended up not giving them what they wanted or what we promoted. And that was wrong. So there you see we're at the crossroads of the two companies. And there you see why. Because we didn't know what the fuck we were doing.
Here comes Edge.
Here's my man.
The rumor and innuendo is that Edge was actually in discussion to join AEW once upon a time, managed to leverage himself a much better deal out of Vince McMahon. And supposedly he's coming back for WrestleMania and he's denying that on social media. What say you? Would you like to see Edge back in time for WrestleMania?
I'd like to see Edge in AEW because he's one of my favorite performers.
Who would you match him up with? What type of opponent?
Oh, no, don't ask me. Don't ask me to book. I'm not booking. I ain't doing that shit.
I was just making conversation, man. I'm gonna let you drive the rest of the show.
No. I just don't want to book, dude. I really don't want to book.
I'd put him in there with the Dark Order. Seriously, I'd put him under a hood and let him just start running roughshod over people. And then when he takes the fucking mask off, everybody loses their mind.
Not bad.
So you laughed at it.
Mm-hmm. I just thought you were making fun of the Dark Order again.
No, listen, in real life, those are great guys.
Yes, they are.
And I like I know you didn't see any of it, but go throw in your Google machine, Super Smash Brothers.
Okay.
These are awesome. You know, they had one segment that fans didn't like and everybody's shitting on them, but
exactly. I thought you were being a part of that.
No. Yeah. The only thing I made fun of, was the deal with, the guy who missed all the punches.
Right. Exactly.
Who, by the way, was not a real member of the squad. He was a local extra. They're never going to use those shitheads ever again. You won't see that ever again. But, it was in fashion to shit that day, so I was shitting. But Super Smash Brothers, go look that up. If you're low key anti Dark Order, I'm going to suggest you don't really know what you're talking about until you see some Super Smash Brothers against the Young Bucks, because they've had a bunch of great matches. Even in Ring of Honor, you would see, them against SCU, them against the Young Bucks. And there's lots of other places you can see them too, but really, really talented performers.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I agree. And there's another tag team out there that I'm really starting to dig too. And that's the Butcher and the Blade. Didn't know that much about them. Those guys are pretty good. So
again,
there it goes.
Undiscovered talent. It's weird that I think, and the guy who plays the Blade is Braxton Sutter, who been a name, quote unquote, in wrestling for a while. It's just weird to me that sometimes we as wrestling fans, and I'm guilty of this, will say, "Oh, we want new, give us something new." And then when they do, everybody's like, oh, that sucks. I don't want that. I want stars. Well, goddamn, how do we make them?
Yeah.
They got to have a chance to do some stuff.
Yeah. Again, you're reading Twitter too much. Stay away from it. Look at this, man. Running set out power bomb.
Whatever.
This is D-Lo, right?
Yeah, that is the move. The running power bomb there that paralyzed Draws.
It did.
Yes.
It's amazing, isn't it?
It's a total accident, and it
Sure it
really
is.
sucks that, people still, I don't know. I can't help but wonder, like, obvious Draws' life would have been forever different, and there's no telling what his career could have looked like, but D'Lo Brown is one of those universally well-liked guys who is sort of one of the unsung heroes of wrestling for a long time. And you wonder what the rest of his career looks like had that night not happened. I mean, I don't know D'Lo at all, but you just know that that's probably in the back of his mind all the time. And it's kind of changed your view on stuff when an accident, cause that's what it was. A real accident happens like that.
And it's amazing that there are not more of those.
Yeah.
When did that happen, actually?
Let me look that up, but it was in, that was early 99.
So it was a little bit after this.
Could be wrong. Let me take a look here.
Look at Terry.
No, it was not early 99. It was later in 99. It was October 1999.
So later that year. Yikes.
Sucks, man.
But Terry doesn't. Oh.
So
She really took a bump there. She slipped.
yeah, she also lost her baby.
Oh, in the storyline?
Yeah. So you're laughing and getting turned on during a miscarriage angle.
Okay. It's not a real miscarriage.
How do you know?
I know it's not. There's no way that WWE or Vince McMahon will allow a pregnant woman to go out there. So I know. Raw is war.
That's not true, by the way, because they let Mae Young go out there for weeks with a baby. Little hand baby.
Oh yeah, hand baby. That's different. You know what that hand baby turned out to be?
A hand job.
No, a hand turkey dick.
Oh, it turned out to be a missed punch on Dynamite.
Oh, that was good. Hold on, I'm choking.
By the way, we should mention, before you know it, like a month from now, you'll be right here in Huntsville, Alabama. AEW Dynamite coming to the Probst Arena right down the street from the Conradison here. And right after, just a couple blocks away from the arena, me and you and Jim Ross will be on stage at Stand Up Live. Pick up your tickets right now at supershowlive.com. And allegedly, the Costco of trademarks, who we've kept very, very busy. I mean, he even gave me like a Just for Feet card or a Subway sandwich card where my 12th trademark is free. Allegedly, he's going to be sponsoring some hijinks after the show as well.
Really?
Yeah. So go stop what you're doing. Make plans to be with us here in Huntsville. Supershowlive.com. You don't just get Tony Schiavone. You also get Jim Ross, who, as we know, is the world's greatest wrestling announcer, according to the Wrestling Observer, not once, but many, many times.
Deservedly so.
Yeah. And way down the list, there's Tony Schiavone. He'll be there too. So if you've seen our poster, it says big neon lights, Jim Ross, and then in tiny fine print, and Tony Schiavone.
Yeah. Who's the doctor here? Paul Heyman?
I don't know what that means.
Well, it looks like a Paulie Dangerously. Well, it's not.
That guy is a guy who, has been talked about a lot by Bruce Pritchard. You should ask Billy Gunn about him.
But the doctor?
He was really more of a masseuse.
Yeah. Well, that's great.
He is Francois Petite.
Francois Petite.
If you ask Billy Gunn about Francois, or ask Dustin, I'm sure he's got, this guy is.
You're setting me up to be knocked out, aren't you?
No, he's a character. This is real. He claims to be a special operations officer. He claims to have an 8th degree black belt and a 7th degree black belt. He claims to hold the title of the highest master in the world. And he did not gain the titles in Japan, nor did he officially win any world titles. He also claims to carry a 3rd degree judo black belt, but wrestling fans would remember him from Beyond the Mat, where he's working on Mick Foley. And Bruce Pritchard would talk about how he would apparently brag that he did open heart surgery on a man with his bare hands. This is a character. I'm not kidding. Ask one of the guys who were around in this era about Francois. Now here's the thing, as unbelievable as that is, because I know it sounds fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
I know some of that stuff's possible because, as you know, we're both great close personal friends with Butch Reed.
I was thinking the same thing.
And if this Francois guy apparently is, he's doing a little stolen valor action here on Butch Reed.
Mm. How dare he?
Are we going to talk about Butch Reed at all?
Well, we just did. What about that sign on the back of Kane here? What's that all about?
What does it say?
I don't know. It looks like that, like one of those things where somebody put "kick me" on the back, taped it on. He didn't know it was there. Down goes Jerry Briscoe, just flopped down. You know, before they were behind the scenes, Pat Patterson was a great performer. Jerry Briscoe was great. He and his brother. Wow. I don't remember them from back in the Crockett days. Great performers. But Jerry's going down. Whoa. That's pretty cool. Ooh, easy. That's scary. It always concerns me about things flying into the stands, you know?
Oh, as well it should.
Yeah. Now, it was a pretty cool thing for him punting that chair, but watch out.
Hey, I do want to mention, since you brought him up, some things have come to light, and they ran a promo about the Bulls on ESPN. There's a big documentary coming out, and it made people go back, like Drew. He reminded us Butch Reed was originally cast in Space Jam, but when it was determined he was too expensive, they went with Michael Jordan instead.
I get that. Business decision.
I also heard that Butch Reed, in fact, invented thumbs up as just a way to let everyone in Florida who realized how over he was and knew that he appreciated him. I also heard that Butch Reed successfully landed the U.S. Airways flight on the Miracle on the Hudson. So he let somebody else take the credit.
And I understand he's the one that he actually, because the escape door, the exit door was stuck, he actually ripped it off so people could get out.
A great close personal friend of the show, Mance Warner, who we hope is working for some big time wrestling outfits here soon, was discovered in an underground fight league, much like the No Holds Barred film. The person who discovered him, though, Butch Reed.
You know the drink that JR likes, Moscow Mule?
Butch Reed invented that.
Yeah, he sure did. During his years as a bartender. And that's one of the reasons we like it. Every time we drink it on the road after a show or after a meeting, we're raising our copper mugs high to Butch Reed. It's kind of a little nod in his direction. What?
Since we're on the heels of Christmas, I guess we should remind everybody that it's been, and this could be rumor and innuendo, that Butch Reed may have actually impregnated the Virgin Mary.
Mm.
I wasn't there. I don't know.
What is this? What's this? Who's this guy in chains?
That's Dennis Knight.
Dennis Knight?
That's one of the Godwins. Phineas Godwin. He's going to be referred to as Midian. The Undertaker is a demon. He's a dark overlord. He's the devil himself. And, he's chained up for that. And you see walking out on all fours here, Al Snow, really excited about getting some bloody head.
Yikes. Well, the fans certainly reacted to it, didn't they?
Yeah, fans were into it. He had the most controversial doll at Walmart. They actually pulled it, believe it or not.
Really? Tell me about this.
Well, because it had a severed woman's head. They thought, we can't sell this to kids.
Well, the toy maker should have known better. Just saying. Now he's going to beat up an Armstrong. Al Snow, pretty good trainer too.
Absolutely.
He worked for WCW for a fleeting time. I'm not so sure when that fleeting time was, I believe. Am I wrong?
I don't know.
I think he did. I'm not, for some reason, I of course, again, all this shit runs together with me, but.
Well, let me tell you something that's not going to run together.
Okay. What's that?
Marty Jannetty, a few days, I guess it was last week, he tweets out, this may have been like the day after Christmas, in fact. Can someone explain this to me? I had accidental late night desperate sex with a neighbor girl. We both parted smiling. Now, almost a year later, she's filed for child support on 2 kids. I only made sex to her once. What up with that?
You throw out a lot of bullshit here. That's really a tweet.
Yeah.
I mean, for real.
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Oh, where do I start?
Okay.
Okay. Here's what's wrong with that. Number one, you put it on Twitter.
Well, he may have put it on Facebook.
You put it on social media.
There you go.
That's all I need to say about that.
So wait a minute. When you have sex with neighbor ladies, don't put it on social media.
Right.
I got to go delete some posts.
That's number one. Boy, Marty's still having some trouble, isn't he? But Al Snow looks like he's enjoying what's going on here. You still deleting your posts?
Yeah, I'm deleting them left and right now.
Yeah, boy, it'd be a good idea. Boy, this was the sign era, wasn't it?
Man, it's crazy. Me and Jim
Yeah.
Ross are going to talk about that tomorrow too, that there's just signs everywhere in this era.
Yeah. And there's signs out today, obviously, but nothing like was back then. And I guess, I don't know I guess like everything, it cools off a little bit. But that was right in the midst of the sign era. See, there's even a sign down there. That person has a seat way down in the corner away from the camera, but they still got a sign.
I love the hardcore style matches. This is for the hardcore title, or this is hardcore title era rather.
Right.
And they're famously going to, brawl outside into, the snow, at the next month's pay-per-view, not Royal Rumble, but I think St. Valentine's Day Massacre. What do you remember about, hardcore matches in WCW? Do any of them stand out for you?
Anything that involved Terry Funk stood out.
Like when he
A
brought
lot of the stuff with Norman Smiley stood out because Norman did, he would always scream. That little that always stood out to me. And that's kind of basically it. Those two guys. Anything that Terry Funk did in his later career always stood out, didn't it? Wherever he was.
I think so.
Yeah, we're ECW.
When he was old, middle-aged and crazy.
Yes, WCW. Certainly became a legend. How, by the way, is Terry doing? Have you checked in on him?
I have. He's not leaving the house.
I hope eventually he does.
I hope he kicks out too, man.
Yeah. The world's a better place when Terry Funk's part of it. I know he can't take bumps anymore. But, yeah. Well, they're just going to fuck everywhere here.
Going to fuck everywhere?
They're going, no. Who's the guy with the hat next to the police officer? Oh, what the hell? Looked like Truman Capote was in the back. Whoa.
The bearded fellow in the hat looks like WWE's Klondike Bill. There's referee Jack Doan in the background.
Fuck, man. Holy shit. They are legitimately kicking each other's fucking ass here.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with it, but I mean, it's like some of these things, like picking up a flower pot and throwing it right at a guy's head.
You don't like that?
No, I just think it's look at this, fucking stabbing him with a standard. Is this where they use the Zamboni? Is this the one?
No.
Okay. Well, listen,
those beer kegs make me think of Bad Money Slim. You ever see Bad Money Slim's stupid videos he puts online where it shows him carrying beer kegs up flights of steps?
Yeah, that's running out of things to put online.
What do you think? What do you think about that?
It's stupid.
Why are you negative on Bad Money Slim?
I'm not making negative. Let me ask you this: Have you noticed that a lot of our low key big hogs are into the podcasting business now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think about that?
Well, I first of all, I guess you, being the Podfather, you have encouraged people.
No,
I'm not saying that you've encouraged them just by being there. They look at you and they think, man, wow, on the outside, this is pretty fucking cool.
No, it's not.
They've encouraged you've
I feel like I'm out front and I've got like a hand-drawn treasure map in a candle. And I just want to turn around like in a bad episode of the Goonies and be like, turn around! You've gone too far! It's not fun in here! Turn back while you still can!
You talking about the guys being outside or the people podcasting?
People podcast. Oh, there's the snow I was looking for.
Yeah, I think I'm a little bit ahead of you on my thing here. My advice to them is that podcasting is cool, but unless you're making money, spend time with your family instead. It's kind of like social media. It's a gigantic waste of time. So, but you have You have started a brand new era.
Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
No, I'm putting it on you, Podfather.
I don't call myself that.
Okay, I know you don't. How about the Jesus of Wrestling podcast?
Please don't say that.
Okay, all right, I won't.
Dude, come on. We're on the tail end of Christmas here, and
Well, Christmas is over.
I'm gonna get killed around here.
You're not?
Don't do that.
You're not gonna get killed. You have established, and you have started a whole new generation of dumbasses wanting to do a podcast.
What? Why are you being like this? You're being very hurtful.
Oh,
I bet you don't even know you're being hurtful.
no, I'm not being hurtful. I'm being honest. Okay, where are you? Give me a time here. We haven't done this in a little while.
We haven't done it at all today. Why don't you tell everybody your time? You're the fucking star of the show.
Oh, got 1:15:56.
Oh, I'm way ahead. I'm 1:16:26.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm 1:16. Let's start again. 1:16:32, 4, 6, 8. That's where I am.
I'm 1:16:41:42. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, we're exactly on the same one. Okay,
The
now
acolytes, Bradshaw and Simmons. And look at there. DX chasing out Shawn Michaels.
who are the acolytes anyway? They work for the Undertaker.
Yeah, APA is what they're going to become, but right now they're acolytes.
Okay.
And then later Acolyte Protection Agency. Shawn is leaving Worcester.
Well, I guess still to come is our big title match.
Keys
The
didn't
Centrum
work,
Center.
so he's going to try to get back in, but of course the door's locked. And someone attacked him from behind, left him laying after a brutal beating. They're going to scrape him up off the hood, put him on the gurney.
And that's blood on the snow?
Yeah.
Wow. There you go.
How about it?
Let me give you a story about the Centrum Center in Worcester.
Okay.
I'm not so sure if it was after this or before this, but we did work the Centrum Center. And when I arrived during the day, there was a group of fans outside as I'm driving in, and we drive into the building, I think, if I recall, under the building or outside the building. And I had the window down, the window crack, and the group of fans said, "Hey, Tony, give us a greatest in the history line." And I went, "This is the greatest venue in the history of our great sport." And everybody cheered. So I knew I was on to something then.
That's your story.
It's my story. That's my big memory of Worcester, the fans cheering when I gave them that line.
Not a good story.
I thought it was a great story. It's a pretty bloody beat up here. My God. Is that the real Hebner or the fake Hebner?
Who can tell the difference?
I know.
I think that's Dave.
Yeah, I believe so.
You think their wives could always tell the difference?
I would think so.
Well, first of all, you would assume that their wife isn't like yours, and their wives would actually have to care, right?
Right. One may have had a bigger dick than the other.
Oh, okay.
But you never know. I mean, you just don't know things like this. Why
don't you know that?
Well, because I'm making my point not to find out that. I didn't go up to him and say, "Hey,
hang on.
Earl,
You're a hog watcher from way back.
No, I'm not. I didn't go up to him and say, "Hey, Earl, which one of you have the bigger dick?"
Well, why not?
Because it's not essential information.
Yeah, you run around here every podcast you get a chance to asking, how big's Batista's dick? Why would you do that if you're scared to ask, your own friends about their hog meats?
Yeah. See, you keep it up, and you know what's going to happen, don't you? You're going to spawn a new podcast from one of our listeners called "Who's Got the Biggest Dick," and that's going to be the name of the podcast.
That actually sounds like that has legs. Third legs.
But I thought I had a sound effect here for that.
Oh God, don't do this.
I thought.
Oh, damn it.
Maybe not. There you go.
Look, you played it twice.
Okay.
3 times a lady. All right. So here we go. DX has adopted Mankind as like a, honorary member here.
Yeah.
And as you saw, Shawn Michaels was attacked as he was promising to go get a Stone Cold surprise.
Okay.
And you're going to see one of the biggest pops in the history of professional wrestling in just a few minutes.
At the finish?
Stone Cold's going to run in
at
the end of the show, and the crowd goes banana. Banana.
Banana.
Banana.
Look at the signs, man. Look at they don't, this is not, I guess it's a knock on the company. I don't know. They don't have this anymore as far as fan reaction. I don't know if that's a sign of what the business has become or not, but if you watch any of their shows now, the fans they're just not they're into it, but not as rabid as they used to be. Am I wrong?
No, I don't think so. But specifically when you're talking about, I do feel like we should double down on what you're saying here. Signs are just not prevalent in wrestling at all anymore. I think this was the way fans used to express themselves. And now fans express themselves on social media. You disagree?
Very well said. I get it. And of course, through the years, I guess there have been some signs that they didn't want to see and signs that were removed. And maybe it got people pissed off to where they said, okay, we're just not going to fuck with it anymore. Don't know if that had anything to do with it or not. Boy, Rock could throw a working punch, couldn't he?
One of the best. It's kind of controversial because some people really liked it. Some people hated it.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Because it looked so good? Why did they hate it? They wanted something to look phony? Look at this, man. Watch him. Fuck. I don't get it, man. Listen, we know how much of a great talker he was, and we know what he has become. The top action movie star of this era. But take away that and take away the fact that he could talk, he obviously could work in the ring. How about that? You can work and you can talk and you're a star. Look at the sign. Sacco is my dad. Mankind is God. And of course, WrestleNet.com. Promote your shit. Oh! You and I have we've watched one of their matches before, haven't we?
Yeah. We've seen the brutal Royal Rumble match later this month with a ton of unprotected chair shots. Very controversial.
Right. Look at this. Fuck, dude. Jesus. God. Good God. I'll show it again. Look at this. Bam on the back. They're going to show the other shot. Yeah. Oh, right across here. What the fuck? Look, you can throw a working punch and, like right there, but there's no way you can work those stairs. When you get hit with those stairs, you're going to get hit with those stairs. There's no way to work that. Every time I see a Mick Foley match, I'm just completely, absolutely aghast. This is pretty cool. I like this.
It's your jam.
Yeah, man, it's pretty cool. He got a mouthful of water because here came the punch.
He's
Wow.
on commentary wearing the headset. Tell me the entertainment of this is not superior to a single finger poke.
Oh, it's not even close. It's not even close. This says it all about the direction of the companies and where they were going and where we were going. Two years later, we'd be on our ass. Wow. In this time of year, I think you've probably told me this, but this time, WCW was still making money,
Yeah.
or they had been on the way down before. Oh, wow. Fuck. Vince's reaction is tremendous. Good shit, guys. As the old cliche goes, I tip my cap to them.
I tip my cap.
Yes, sir, man. Great performers. Rock had an incredible sense of timing. I know that he had a lot of exposure here on TV, but how was he discovered as an actor? Was it the Scorpion King? Was that what put him over?
Yeah. He had, a minor role in that, and then was off to the races.
Mm. Yeah.
Well, I guess it wasn't that minor, but you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I understand. I get it.
not nearly what it would become.
Right. See, the fans, the fans are just into that.
It's pretty crazy what he's been able to accomplish.
What, The Rock?
Yeah.
Oh, it's mind-blowing. It's transcended anything that any wrestlers ever tried to do in Hollywood.
You know what? You said Scorpion King. That was the sequel. He had a smaller role in The Mummy Returns, and then
That's
popped
right.
off in Scorpion King. But we actually discovered not too terribly long ago that his first gig was on That 70s Show. And then he did, believe it or not, an episode of one of those stupid shows you watch, like Star Trek or something.
Yeah.
Then he had
I believe
some guest appearances on like Saturday Night Live, and he was off to the races after that.
Butch Reed was his agent.
No, that's exactly right. Butch Reed put it all together. And why do you think Vince McMahon is trying to personally hold Butch Reed down?
He has vendettas that we're getting ready to see the finish here, I think, aren't we? He has vendettas that he holds and can't let go of.
Tell you what,
Look at this.
If you were smart, you would have said, "Hey, TK, I know you want Taz to come in and take my spot at the tallest seat at the announce table, but instead, what we'd like to see is Butch Reed take that spot." And that's smart booking because everybody knows he was over in Florida. By the way, the worst interference ever with that belt. Like,
Yep.
Hebner saw it slide in and then ran away to pretend like he didn't see it. And then to hide the fact that he just hit Mankind with it, he throws the belt to Big Boss Man again, standing right beside Hebner.
I know.
Just the worst. Double arm DDT on the title. Look at the fans. Everybody's on their feet.
Yep. They're into this, man.
I tell you, man, my wrestling suspension of disbelief was ruined when someone told me to watch their eyes to see if they're going to kick out or not. And now I can't not. I mean, I don't even look at the pin anymore. I look at the guy's eyes, and if he's looking at the ref, I know I haven't seen it. Wish I'd never heard that.
Mr. Sacco.
Oh, you ever have a man shove his fist in your mouth?
No.
Like, not recreationally.
No. The mandible claw.
No, that's not a DQ, because as you remember, this is a no DQ.
All right. So why they try to hide the belt?
Hang on. You ready? Watch the crowd. Just watch the crowd. Don't worry about hearing it. Look at the crowd. Do you see what we're seeing here?
Yeah.
That's what's called being over right there.
You fucking A.
Wham! And you ready? Look at the crowd. Compare that crowd to the finger poke of doom. We're talking about Worcester versus the Georgia Dome.
Wow.
Y'all had 38,000 people or some shit. They got less than half that, but you can't tell looking at it.
Look at Vince's reaction.
He's selling it, baby.
That is exactly right. That's being fucking over.
He's on fire, dude.
Anybody who's ever booked, anybody who's ever worked in wrestling and wanted to be in wrestling creative needs to watch this. Hell, they need to watch the whole year in WWE. They need to watch Mr. McMahon against Stone Cold. I don't think Mr. McMahon can be recreated. And I think if somebody tries to recreate a Mr. McMahon character, that it'll be shit on by the fans. But just the reaction, the facial reaction.
Tony, I know you missed it, but man, they've been trying to create Mr. McMahon characters for 20 years.
I know.
There have been so many authority figure shits in wrestling. Fans are just sick of it. Sure.
That's what I'm saying. They'll shit on it. Of course and that's why they should stay away from it. But still, you just need there's so many variables to make this such the big moment it was.
Well, give us the line.
I've just been told that Mick Foley has won the WWF Championship. Boy, that's going to take us out of business. Is that the right line?
You realize when your dumbass said that 600,000 people changed the channel and never came back?
Yeah, they're welcome. You know what that is? You know what that is, don't you?
It's being over.
You fucking.
How great is it you and I do this often enough where I didn't see you and you didn't see me, but I saw exactly where you were going.
Exactly. Hey, you know what? Great show, man. Great fucking show.
It was a good show.
Motherfucking show.
They did a great job with this one.
Yeah.
And you know what? We're hoping that you guys enjoyed this stroll down memory lane. Don't forget tomorrow on Grill and JR, and I'm pretty excited about this. We've got Jim Ross, the world's greatest wrestling announcer, according to the Wrestling Observer.
And rightfully so.
And he's going to be watching the Finger Poke of Doom episode of Nitro that went head to head with this. And stay tuned next week because we're getting back on the ECW train. Guilty as Charged 2000 with a young Conrad Thompson and Clint from Hershey sitting ringside. What a big show this was right there in Birmingham. We're on a death march for ECW. We've got CW Anderson taking on Mikey Whipwreck. We've got Danny Doring, Roadkill, and Simon Diamond taking on Nova, Kid Cash, and Jazz. We've got Tajiri and Super Crazy taking on Little Guido and Jerry Lynn. We've got Angel from DeBaldi's taking on New Jack. We've got Rob Van Dam and Sabu for the TV title. For the tag titles, we've got the Impact Players, Lance Storm and Just Incredible, taking on Tommy Dreamer and Raven. Of course, Don Marie and Francine are involved there, so it'll be your favorite match. Then in our main event, Spike Dudley will challenge for the world title. Mike Awesome, of course, seconded by Judge Jeff Jones. Not a great pay-per-view by any stretch of the imagination, but certainly a lot of fun for me to go back and revisit that show. So stay tuned next week right here on What Happened When for a little ECW 2000 action. But Tony, right now, I feel like it's about that time.
I'm sorry, WCW. I'm for real. Never meant to make you daughter cry. I apologize 1,000,000,000 times. I shouldn't have said butts and seats. I'm sorry, Miss WCW. I am for real. Never meant to make your daughter cry. Fuck you. I'm out of time. We'll see you next week on What Happened When on the MLW on Westwood One, as well as on
Patron. Did you just accidentally say that indie Fed's name? We'll have to edit that out.
And Nitro, New World Order and the Crow. Thunder Russo, Arquette Champ, Vinnie Mac, simulcast. Tony's back with Conrad, not your classy podcast. Watch along, try not to laugh. Lowest rules, cat back. This wasn't the initial plan. Tom Zigg's a good looking man. Klondike Bill, make a chant. Tommy